Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face, talking all Cleveland sports and, of course, food on our semi-famous Fat Boy Thursday. Here are your hosts, Fatty and Big Bry.
Well, one face you're going to see tonight is this guy right here, Jared Fatty Bates. Welcome on into Illegal Ham to the Face. Big Bry is out. He is on assignment, and as everybody knows, he is on paternity leave right now. The only thing I can say that is everybody is happy, healthy, and good to go until he reaches out to family members and everything else. But welcome on into Illegal Ham to the Face, a Network 216 show. And, you know, when this happens, I got to bring somebody in from the bullpen. So I brought in one of the best friends that I know and likes to bark a lot. Maybe does a Barking Brown show. I don't know who that is. Let's welcome in. There he is. Nick Carnes. What's going on, buddy?
Jared, your intro makes me so happy.
You're jealous, aren't you?
I am a little jealous, I gotta say.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I'm just excited to be here. I finally got to a Thursday Illegal Ham show, and that's about all I could ask for on my Thursday, man.
Hey, and truly, I appreciate it. Thank you for stepping in with Bri being out. We're going to have some more guests next week. We'll probably have somebody else kind of sit in the guest chair with me. But thank you. Nick is part of the Barking Brown show with Jacob Roach and Casey Kinnaman. They go live, was it Tuesdays? I think every Tuesday at 8. And then they have some videos coming out, but they dive deep into the Browns. Go check them out on their YouTube. And I think you guys are on Twitch too, right?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so go check them out. Welcome into the show, buddy. We got a big show tonight. We had some news drop today. We're going to talk some Cavs. We're going to talk some guards. Definitely going to talk some Brownies with one of the Barking Browns here.
Okay.
We're going to get into Fat Boy Thursday tonight, which is going to be Memorial Day foods. What comes to mind when Memorial Day hits, and then also top 3 snacks tonight. What's your go-to snacks? So, hey, I know you're not used to this because we're dabbling into everything tonight, but need you to put your big boy britches on and get heavy with us here when we get to Fat Boy Thursday, all right?
Sounds good to me.
All right, well, we always kick out this show with some shout-outs, and I will go first before I hand it over to you, Nick. Right now, I got to shout out Big Bry and his wife. Congratulations. That's all I could say. No names, no pictures, please. But congratulations is going out to them. I cannot thank him for the 4 years that he has been with me on this podcast and live stream. He is truly amazing. One of my best friends. I love him. He'll be back here in a few weeks. So just stay tuned. He's probably in the comments here in a little bit. He'll start popping in the comments. Nick, do you have any shout outs that you'd like to get out tonight? Get it off your chest, somebody that you'd like to shout out tonight, or, you know, another show that some people got to check out.
If you haven't checked out the Lyman Lounge podcast, I highly suggest them as well.
I love those guys. Sleeveless Mike was on our show when we did our watch party for City Dogs.
Oh, okay.
Mike and Evo are the best. They are truly awesome. I love those guys.
They have a lot of fun with it too, and I think that's like, those are some of my favorite shows. Like what you do here, Jared, you add like your own flair and your own fun to it. That I love the tie in with the food and the snacks and everything. And Lyman Lounge has their own spin on it too. They're a little more how would I say, fierce?
They get into
it. They get into it, and they're good people too. I feel like a lot of us here in Cleveland podcast land are connected in one way or another. So, well, if you're here right now, you're already seeing Illegal Ham, and that's half the battle. And I would then suggest you head on over to the Lyman Lounge.
Oh, yeah. And I love those guys. They just started the No Sleeves Network, which is awesome for them. So please go check them out. They're truly amazing people. Like, when I called Mike, I was hoping that Evo would come for that live show too, but man, Mike showed up. His whole family was there. Everything. Wow. It was me and Bri, Always Positive Jay, and Mike there for our party. And man, I'll tell you what, we had so much fun all together, and just everybody had a blast. Which the next one will be coming up here in about, 4 months away?
Okay,
maybe. So we'll see what happens. I got to find a venue. I've already talked to you about the venue behind the scenes, but we'll get a venue going.
Okay.
Now, since Brian's not here, all right, we do a trivia. We do City Dogs. We do have City Dogs tonight. We're going to do Buck again for our City Dogs Cleveland, but I got to hit the trivia sounder because guess what, buddy? You're in the hot seat. It's your turn to answer a trivia question.
All right.
And welcome to Trivia by City Dogs Cleveland. You're going to be amazed the entire night. I got more of them.
Okay.
City Dogs Cleveland. We have been a partner with them. We love City Dogs. Right now, this weekend, people, $21 adoptions are going on this weekend at City Dogs Cleveland. That's dirt cheap. $21. Kennels are full. Let me bring up our big boy that we had last week. His name is Buck. He definitely needs to be adopted. Take a look at this handsome fellow right there. Loves giving kisses, loves for walks, loves being outside. So if you can, as we say always on our show, if you can help out City Dogs, donate, volunteer, adopt, whatever you can do, please help out City Dogs Cleveland. They need your help. All right, you ready for the hot seat, buddy?
Yeah, here we go.
All right, so a lot of people might know this trivia, but I just kind of wanted to do it because it's in the topic of our conversations tonight. JB Bickerstaff was let go by the Cavs today. What is JB's true official name?
John Blair.
You're not supposed to answer it now.
Oh, I'm not?
Well, that's all right. Well, we got it. That is a great
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. You're supposed to answer it at the end, but that works. It definitely is John Blair Bickerstaff. We will show our City Dog here at the end of the show. It's no big deal. I loved it. Hey, you're all right. It's all right. All right. So let's get into our Cleveland headlines and let's get the show going. As soon as I find my clicker. Where is my clicker at? Right about there. First up in your Cleveland headlines tonight, JB Bickerstaff got let go by the Cleveland Cavaliers after 4.5 seasons. Took them to a 47, 48, 51 win season to the play-in first round, second round, and was let go at the end of this. Not a huge shock by anybody. We kind of figured this might be coming down the pipeline for the next step for the Cavaliers. I'm kind of shocked about the timing because they definitely waited a little bit to let this one out. It's about a week now. I figured it would have been out a few days ago. But, I mean, Nick, what's your how can I say it? What's your thing with JB Bickerstaff? I mean, you think he should have been let go? You think they should have kept him? I know a lot of people are kind of if and or because we don't know what's next in the pipeline because it is definitely a lot of retread and a lot of assistance. So, I mean, how do you feel about the Cavs letting go of JB Bickerstaff? And was it the right move?
I'll start by answering the second question. I think it was the right move. And that's it's a tough situation because you did go to the second round of the playoffs and the Cavs definitely did overcome a ton of injuries and adversity through the season. So I have to give them credit. If hot dogs and tacos are sandwiches, then could we correct?
Oh yeah, that's how we roll in this show.
Whoa,
Justin's man. So last episode, I'll let you finish your JB Bickerstaff story. We'll get into this, but yeah, go ahead with your JB, and I'll let you know what happened last episode.
Okay. I just looked at the way he used rotations, and I saw Jordan Yang out there when he really was giving the Cavs almost nothing. There were stretches that were just strange to me where Craig Porter Jr. was playing really well, and then he just didn't get minutes. And I just felt like in general, the act where he's just constantly barking at officials got kind of tired as the season wore on. And just looking at the way that the Cavs were officiated, like I understand why JB was upset, but I feel like he was so aggressive to the refs from like the get-go, that maybe that type of stuff. I mean, they're humans too, right?
Yeah.
And so there were some things, and you know what? So I remember last year when the Cavs got just out physicaled, outmanned by the Knicks, and JB gave the like, we're proud of what we accomplished this year, rah rah speech. And I just felt like he to me, he's good for a young team. I liked the dog chain and just the way that they'd take the group photos after their wins. And like, there was definitely some camaraderie building, some chemistry building, that type of thing. But I just feel like the bar needed to be raised in Cleveland for the Cavs. And I just don't know that JB, with his like, we're proud of what we accomplished mentality, is that guy that's going to raise the bar to the next place that they need to go. And one last thought. The end of the regular season, when the Cavs tanked against the Hornets so that they could get the Magic first and then the Celtics second, didn't make any sense to me. I felt like that they could have been the higher seed and ideally not had to face Boston until the Eastern Conference Finals. And I did not like that. Like, getting one series win is not what I want the goal to be, right? And so, like, if you could be a higher seed, if you could have a better chance at progressing farther, I just don't understand why you would tank out just to play the Magic. That I didn't like that either. So I just think that they need JB took them to a point, and I appreciate that, but I think they just need to find somebody to raise the bar like JB didn't. Sorry if I got long-winded there.
No. You're completely fine. I'm trying to pull up the guy on Twitter that I got into it to, because I said the Cavs tanked that game, and he said there's a difference between tanking and what they did. It was all in the plan. I'm like, shut the hell up. Nobody goes out to play their starters for 30 damn minutes and then yank them in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Nobody does that. At that point in time, they would just sat their starters and just said, hey, guys, go roll the ball out. Have fun. Like, that's get me upset about that one.
I'm sorry.
Me and that guy got into it pretty good. I'm like, yeah, okay. I had to back off a little bit. But no, I agree with you. Certain lineups that he had were kind of curious. And, the one thing that got to me in the playoffs, and this is where it got for me to the point where I was kind of like, not like done with him, but it was like, come on, man. Like, you're sitting there watching your team get bullied as shit down the middle against Boston and against Orlando right out at the beginning. At that point in time, guess what? You have two guys on your bench with playoff experience that can be very freaking physical in Tristan Thompson and Marcus Morris. Send those guys in and, hey, kick it old school. Look at them, go, hey, guys, you got 6 fouls to give. Go get physical. Have fun. And just let them go. At that point in time, that would have changed that whole game in the interior, because you have 12 fouls right there that you would just beat up on somebody, send them down on the bench, get Mobley back in there, finesse them a little bit, and we'd be fine. But I don't want to see anybody get fired, and I understand why they did it, because they need to take a next step. I do want to say thank you to JB Bickerstaff for what he has done for the culture here, for them playing defense, from them going from 23 wins to where they're at now. It is part of him. It is part of Kobe Altman. I think Kobe Altman has a little bit more to blame than JB Bickerstaff, but you're not going to get that from the GM. The GM's kind of, and the president of basketball operations, I think that's what they call him.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree with you. I think they shouldn't have tanked. I think they should have waited to see if they could get Eastern Conference Finals with Boston. But the thing is like last episode, the one thing that I bitched about the most is we still don't got a clear answer where our team's at, because everybody was injured when we played Boston. So we don't even know how we match up with the best team in the East right now. So it's like, okay, well, what the hell you do then? You don't know what to do then. So go ahead.
I just think, so here's the peculiar thing to me. You said that the Cavs season wasn't good enough. You fired your coach that reports were that he lost the locker room and that clearly it wasn't working. But there were just some weird fits this year. Like the Cavs gave out a big old 3-year contract to George Niang, and they also gave out a big old contract to Max Strus. I don't think you could objectively say either player gave you the return on investment you were hoping for in year one. And while I really appreciate like the trade for Donovan Mitchell that Kobe Altman did, at the same time, I question some of the signings that he made and the allocation of resources, because now the cap situation is a lot tighter, and we'll see what happens if they trade Darius Garland or something like that. But when I'm looking at the Cavs, I'm saying, okay, JB, if you're not good enough, like why is Kobe safe? I don't understand that piece, because you could look at it, especially Niang was an anchor out there. Let's just be honest. Niang was an anchor. You gave him a 3-year whatever. Like,
but I want him on our show because he's a big boy. You can't talk
Sure.
about our big boy like his nickname's the minivan for a reason. He belongs on this show with us.
But yeah, no, I agree. But I'm just saying, like, Jared, does it make sense to you to
No,
get
God,
rid of
no.
JB but not Kobe? Like, should it not just be like, is there not this going to be this weird like, we already have the GM in place and now we're hiring a new head coach? Like we've seen the Browns do that a million times. I hate that. Like let's just start a clean slate.
Yeah, but if they do a clean slate, there's no direction for this team. And right now you have a playoff team. You have possibly an Eastern Conference Finals team if people step up and are healthy.
Right.
Right now, you cannot do a fire sale on this whole team. You can't. Now, there's big pieces that you can get rid of in here and there. And I also believe that this move with JB, not saying that Donovan asked for it, but I think this move was made for Donovan for him to re-sign here. And if that happens, then at that point in time, you look at this, Kobe Altman, and I'm telling you right now, Donovan's in charge. Whatever he wants, he's going to get. And if he wants Darius gone, send him. If he wants Jared Allen gone, send him. The one person you cannot send away, Evan Mobley. You can't do it. He still needs time to develop. You guys failed on his development when you guys sped up the process by getting Donovan Mitchell. You guys sped it up by 2 years by trading for Donovan Mitchell. It was supposed to be a slow build. It was supposed to be Darius, Mobley, Allen, and then build it up from there. And you guys sped it up with the trade for Donovan Mitchell. And at that point in time, the expectations of this team went from 0 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
That. And I'm not saying that Donovan Mitchell is LeBron James. I'm not saying anything like that. But what I am saying is now it is Donovan's team. Now what Donovan says goes.
If they can get Donovan to extend, everything about that trade, like that trade is a franchise altering. So I know I just talked poorly about Altman, but on the other hand, if they get Donovan to extend, you have acquired a franchise cornerstone with just draft picks and well, I guess they did trade Sexton and Markkanen. I get that. But like the point is, it's very difficult for a team like Cleveland to be able to acquire a talent like Donovan Mitchell. Right. So if he extends, that's like an all-time move from Altman, because it changes your whole franchise.
Oh, yeah. It definitely changes your whole franchise. And like I said, it speeds up the process.
Mm-hmm.
Now what they need, though, is, you see it with Strus and Niang, you actually need a physical wing out there. You need a physical guy that can shoot and play defense. And right now, we got a guy. Well, I'm not. Okay. Let me say this about Max Strus. I understand Max Strus was a disappointment in the playoffs, didn't score as many points. I'll tell you what, though, when the playoffs came, the hustle out of that guy, and I understand hustle's not everything, but he did hustle. But, man, Niang couldn't buy a damn shot. Like, I mean, I almost wanted to shoot for him half the time. Like, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, I ain't got 3-point range, but I can give you a mid-2 jumper all the time. I'll give you that free throw jumper all the time. Mm-hmm. But you had people that needed to step up that didn't. It was Strus, it was Niang. Now, LeVert got hurt. LeVert stepped up in the game before that.
Right.
And, but at that point in time, you were depleted of talent. And then you had Jaylen Brown and you had, good God, now I'm Jason Tatum. Just doing whatever they wanted on defense. Like, you couldn't guard him. Strus obviously couldn't guard him. At that point in time, it's like, okay, well, you two are going to kill us. Let's try to cover everybody else. And it backfired on him. It truly backfired on him. And that's okay. That's okay. But at least we got a fair shake. We took one in Boston, and it was competitive. That's the one thing I took away from it and from JB Bickerstaff, because they could have just, after they lost Allen, Mitchell, next thing you know, LeVert goes down. They could have just rolled the ball out and been done with the season. They could have got blown out by 30 points. Next thing you know, Marcus Morris comes out there, throws up 31 points. You're like, where's this guy been the entire playoffs?
Right.
So I think there's some good things moving forward. I think this was the right move. Now, the thing is, though, what's on everybody's radar for the Cavs is assistants, okay? Unproven guys. A lot of guys that are really good, supposedly. Hey, but we've been there before. How many offensive coordinators did we make a head coach here in Cleveland? Oh, let's see here. Hugh Jackson. We'll just keep going down the line. Like, if there was a name out there that they were going to go get, and this is what Brian, I will speak for Brian on this. This is what Brian was worried about. You're going to get a retread or a baby in here, and that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get a seasoned veteran that needs to be the voice of this team, especially during the playoffs. I'm curious who they're going to go after. I mean, do you think they're going to go after anybody else other than an assistant?
Well, okay.
They keep bringing up Frank Vogel, but man, come on. He got fired from 2 different places in the past 2 years. He got fired from the Lakers and the Suns.
Yeah.
So obviously he butts heads with superstars.
All I know is this. They said Dan Gilbert's going to be a lot more involved. And Dan's the same guy that went out and hired David Blatt and went out and hired John Beilein. He often thinks outside the box. He often goes for like a big type of name that carries a lot of respect with it. So I don't know. I'm not going to say that I know who a candidate like that would be, but I think he's given us a track record of going after guys like that. So I've seen like the report of like Kenny Atkinson and Vogel and like that kind of stuff. But it would not surprise me at all if there wasn't some like out of left field type candidate, because that's what Dan up until JB, right? He went outside the box with his previous 2 hires. So I'm definitely going to be curious to see. And I also want to ask you, because this is the question that's just like brewing in the background.
Oh, come on, bring it to me.
Are you taking LeBron back?
Okay, so we talked about this.
Okay.
All right. So last week we got into it because LeBron was here and everything else. Now to get LeBron here, okay, be a whole lot of moves that need to be done.
Right.
And it would get crazy to do. It would get crazy to do. But if you think about it, if you have Mobley, you have Donovan Mitchell, and you bring LeBron back to be the small forward and not be the LeBron of old, but be the LeBron that he is now. I think with his experience and his work ethic and everything else, he would take Donovan Mitchell was 26. He would take 26-year-old Donovan Mitchell. He would take a 21-year-old Evan Mobley. It would be unreal to think. Now, do I think it will happen? Hell no. I don't think it will happen. I think he's playing games with the Lakers and trying to figure out what he wants to do. Would I like it to happen as a fan? I am not going to lie. That wakes me up in the middle of the night, because that would be a great thing for the Cleveland Cavs, for him to finish his career here, retire as a Cavalier, and possibly with these 2 young guys, make a championship run in the East, because guess what? The West ain't getting any easier. Yeah. Ant-Man is lighting it up. You got Denver, who is a juggernaut. You got OKC, who's growing. Remember what he did last time when the East started getting a little too tough? He went to the West Coast.
Yep.
Never know what will happen. But I mean, what do you think? Would you love to have LeBron back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
there it is.
It changes it. Okay, so the Cavs have needed a wing. This entire new build, the Cavs have needed a wing. Haven't had a wing. Even going back before they traded for Donovan Mitchell, they were trotting 3 bigs out there with Lauri Markkanen as well, right? So they have not had that dude, and LeBron is literally that dude. Now I get it, right? You're not going to want to play him. I mean, he'll probably want to play 40 plus minutes, right? But ideally, you wouldn't play him that long. But still, the point is, there's a glaring void at that spot. And it just makes so much sense. And I do think, like, in terms of like a legacy type thing, if LeBron came back again and finished in Cleveland, I feel like that would just send his retirement on such a high note, basically everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Because then he's won a title everywhere, and he comes back to Cleveland and retires where he all started, and he's home, right? Like he could go do all the more things in Akron. I know he already does. He can fly anywhere he wants anytime. But there's just something different when you're here again.
Now, hold on. Were you shocked to see him at that game? Because I was floored. I was absolutely floored to see him at a Cavs game, courtside, with his wife and his friends. Now, like a Lakers game, different story. Here in Cleveland, I did not ever think I would see him sitting courtside at a Cleveland Cavaliers game while he was still playing in the NBA.
LeBron's really good at pulling strings, man.
I know he is.
He loves-
I told Brian, I'm like, he's there for a reason.
Yeah.
He is there for a reason. He does not do anything unless it's calculated and it's toward him. I knew it. And I was like, you little shit, you sit there and drink your $3,000 wine underneath your chair. I would love to sit there.
Straight out of the bottle.
Straight out of the bottle. I don't need no cup.
But no, I mean, that's so calculated.
I know it is.
And good for him. Like, it just stirs it all up again and gets everybody talking about it. And here he is. It's like he plays these like games with. I can't look at him courtside like that and not think there isn't a chance that he comes back again. I can't do it.
I know. But see, that's the fan in you. That's a Cleveland fan in you right there. You know, the bad thing is the other side of it. Hey, guys, look at me. I'm sitting courtside in Cleveland. You going to pay me more now, LA? Send me that money. Send me that money. And that's
like Dan will go into the luxury tax. He's done it before.
I'm not saying he won't, but I think it is a ploy to LA going, hey, guys, look at me sitting here courtside in Cleveland, my hometown. My team that's actually in the Eastern Conference right now in the second round. You guys want to pay me now? How about now?
Okay.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta be. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I mean, now if he comes back, you're going to see a fat guy streaking down here in North Olmsted somewhere, just screaming. There's be a big C on the chest and let him know on the back as we're running down. But I mean, I think it would be great, but I honestly don't think it will happen. I mean, I give it like, God, maybe 15%. Like,
here's my thing. I honestly think it's weird that Donovan, like these reports about Donovan resigning are happening, because everything else outside of Cleveland says he's leaving, he wants to be elsewhere, whatever, right? And it's fine. That's what people say when guys go to a small market, and I'm sure. But I just don't feel like there would be so many like positive and optimistic posts about his chances of resigning if there wasn't something else in the works so long. I just feel like that. I feel like Donovan doesn't resign in Cleveland unless there's something bigger at hand for the way the team is going to look next year.
oh yeah,
That's like if there was no chance, and it could be somebody else besides LeBron. I know I'm being long-winded here, but guys like that like Donovan was in Utah for the whole beginning of his career, then he gets traded to Cleveland. So he finally could have the opportunity to have some control over where he goes next, right?
Yes.
And so typically guys would take that chance and go where like I don't know that he fits necessarily in New York right now, but they would take that opportunity. And so it's like if he's resigning in Cleveland, there's got to be something more that he says, yeah, that's why I'd stay in Cleveland, or that's why I'd resign. At least to me, in my pea brain.
Hey, I agree with you. I'm not going to argue with that. I mean, my pea brain's right there too. Like it's like toying with you. It's like watching the Go Fish game. You're playing your Go Fish game with the kids, and it's just like waiting for that fish to bite. And I'm that fish going, feed me more, feed me more. Like I don't know how to explain it. All right, let's get off the Cavs.
Okay.
Let's get you ready for a fatty fired up.
Fatty fired up. I'm in.
Fatty fired up. Here we go. Your Cleveland Guardians have swept 2 series in a row, one against the Minnesota Twins, also the New York Mets. And guess what? I have a great, wonderful feeling about Fatty's fired up because we won the Francisco Lindor trade. Suck it, New York Mets. Have fun with a guy batting a 182. All right, here we go. No, the Guardians are playing fantastic baseball right now. And what I'm loving about it is there is an offense and there is a no quit in this team. They were down 3-0. Last game they played against yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday afternoon game?
Yesterday.
They were down 3-0. Next thing you know, tie it up. Next thing you know, win 6-3. It is pitching. It is bullpen. It is everybody hitting. David Fry, Tyler Freeman, Quan is out, getting ready to come back. You got Monzardo coming back up with the best mustache I have seen in Cleveland in a very long time. He looks like a 1979 MLB baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies. Let me just put that one out there. But you got everybody hitting. Josh Naylor. You got the RBI leader in Jose Ramirez in the whole major leagues right now. This team is playing special. This team is, 13 games, 13 games above 500 right now. I'm doing math in my head. I'm doing rough math when I'm doing Fatty Fired Up. It gets comical. But they're so far above 500. They're playing great. They're bringing up young guys, getting young guys. Like, who is it? Julio Rodriguez played last night, got an RBI, first hit RBI.
Yep.
It is, are they peaking too early? Here's Justin. It's a long season. Are they peaking too early? You know something, for the longest time with Tito, we never peaked until September. Right. Us being out in front, and then here's the other kicker. Almost 100,000 fans showed up for that Minnesota Twins series. We had fandom here. It was almost 30,000 per game. That is unreal here in Cleveland, especially during the summertime. Fatty doing math when he's not fired up is comical. Yeah. But, I mean, how are you feeling about the Guardians? I mean, they're playing fantastic baseball right now. How do you feel about this team?
I love it. It's so much fun, just day in and out. And, you know, it's even heightened by just a big part of the conversation after the Guardians swept the Mets is like the Mets payroll is like some unfathomably larger number than what the Guardians are shelling out. It's like, is it like 150 million?
Oh, it's more. Yeah, like they're paying 300 million, and I believe we are sitting right around 110.
That's just
somewhere around there. I don't even think it's over 100. I think it might be 99 million is what we're paying in payroll.
And so like that just like plays into the underdog Cleveland stuff that I think resonates with Clevelanders. And you mentioned the attendance last. Last year we were one of the most improved baseball teams in the entire MLB in attendance year over year. And this year, then already you can see now when the weather was crappy, there weren't a lot of people in the ballpark. But even for the day game yesterday, which was like a 1 o'clock pitch on 12:30. Okay. 12:30 pitch on a Wednesday. There were still a lot of people there. You can see that there's fervor. There's a lot of excitement, and the city is supporting the team. And I love that so much. It's great to see because look, when all these great moments happen, you want to see people fill in the stands and cheering and yelling. Like one of the most iconic moments from last weekend's sweep was David Fry in the City Connects jersey. He's like, throwing up, and you can see all the people going wild in the background. Like that's what you want to see, because baseball overall has been, struggling in terms of viewership and that type of thing on a national level. But you can see that Cleveland loves their baseball, right? That goes back so long. And so I think there's just, did you see they put out Emmanuel Clase's entrance? It was on Twitter this morning, and I saw it, and I don't know why the Guardians haven't put it out, but it was like the Mets, because they were talking about Major League and Vaughn and like entrances, and they were like comparing like how Classic comes out to Fireman from Lil Wayne, and there's all this graphics, and it's a hell of an entrance, is what I'm saying.
I gotta watch it now.
You gotta. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But just one other thing, you mentioned the Guardians won and that's the thing, they win trades, they win so many. They're not perfect, right? Like Will Benson is really hitting the shit out of the ball in Cincinnati, and
I mean, we had Yonday Diaz doing great down in Tampa. I understand we lose some, but when you win one like the one that we won with the Lindor trade, I mean, you traded Lindor for Jimenez, who is a Gold Glove second baseman, could play shortstop if he wanted to. But now he is hitting for our team, doing what he did against the Mets. I mean, what do you have, a 3-run homer? I don't even know how many RBIs he had against the Mets. And you're just sitting there watching it. And it's like, Frankie, thank you. Thank you for the fun times in Cleveland. Thank you for what you did for us. Yep. But, at that point in time, buddy, you had a problem. You had a problem a while ago when you couldn't hit. And now you're really having a problem. And it's not your fault. It's just the fact that you just got paid $300 million and it's somebody else's fault now.
Right. And I also want to say, Kyle Manzardo's not only is his stash incredible, he's hit a double in 4 straight games, right? And the Guardians moved Aaron Savale for him, who's 2-4.
Oh yeah,
right there in Tampa now. So it's just like, and then you've got the first overall pick, right? So there's like all this hype building.
I know, right?
And like David Fry, you mentioned David Fry, Tyler Freeman is playing really well, and I just love, and like in all of this, right? It's like Stephen Vogt's a first-time manager. This is his first season, and they are just tearing through teams. It's unbelievable. Like if you could have said, what's the best case scenario for a guy replacing a decade tenured World Series winning manager like Terry Francona, it's like Vaught's got to be off to it. I don't know what overall starts for like their first MLB season managed, but Vogt has got to be off to like an upper end one, right?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh, and by the way, here's another one. Cheers. Vought's going to win Manager of the Year this year.
Whoa, there it is.
So I mean, he's got to. He's a rookie manager coming into a Cleveland Guardians team last year that didn't finish above 500. Pretty much the same team, a lot of younger guys. And what I think about this is what Vaught has done, and it is Vaught, right? Vaught?
It's Vogt.
Again, I hate.
I messed you up. It's my fault.
That's all right. So what Vogt does with this team, though, is he's a younger guy. He's in the clubhouse. He goes with his feelings. He's just got done playing, which is a huge, huge thing because he can relate to the guys now. And I'm not saying Tito couldn't, but at this point in time, he can go up to Jose and be like, all right, Jose, I think you're doing this a little different if you approach it this way. And I think they listen to him. I think they take his aggressive manner. And also, who's the catcher? Austin Hedges, right? Is it Hedgie?
Yeah.
Hedges is the one that came out not hitting worth a shit, but man, he is like the team leader. And just talk like it reminded me of the old school days with like Jason Giambi coming in. And then you had, Napoli here, party at Naps. You had that one veteran here and that's him. That's him right now. And this team is just, and I heard it from Terry Pluto and from others. They're a team. Like they are together. No matter what happens, if they get down 3 runs, they're right in each other's ears. We got this, guys. Come on. Let's go. We got this. They ain't going to stop us. Let's go. They're just that kind of gelled team right now, and they're together. And I thought that having Quan out of lineup was going to hurt them a little bit. Shit, no. Now when Quan comes back, it is going to be a well-oiled machine, let me tell you what. But, just from top to bottom, and it's a different person every day, which is even better because it's Fry, it's Freeman, it is Jimenez, it is Rocchio one game, it is Ramirez. It's just everybody. And even like the spot start for Curry coming in when Cookie got hurt. That's amazing. Just to come in and spot start 4 innings. Yeah, you gave up a couple runs. It's all right. But you were just told that morning going, hey, guess what? You're getting a start today. Like, what? Like me calling you into the bullpen. Like, hey, Nick, guess what? You're joining the Ham tonight.
There it is.
So, but it's a great thing. I love what they're doing. They're playing with so much passion, so much fire, and they're having so much fun together. And they're just so happy for each other. Like seeing everybody go nuts when Fry hit that pinch run homer on his birthday. Like everybody just went nuts. And it was like, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is what baseball's supposed to be here in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's fun. Every day it's fun. And I can remember so many summers where it felt like you're just waiting for Browns football all summer long. And it's like, that is not one of these.
No. And the thing is they took the bull by the horns and went out aggressive here in the first half of the season. And guess what? You're leading the AL Central right now.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we didn't expect Kansas City to do what they're doing right now.
Right.
But it's amazing.
And that's a big piece of it too, because you mentioned when we started this conversation how the Guardians, for whatever reason, just started slow with Terry Francona. And it wasn't just a year, it was multiple, where it just felt like they couldn't do anything until after Memorial Day. And it's a really great thing that they've started out so hot, because otherwise it would be like Kansas City is a friend of mine and I were talking about this today. And it's like Cleveland and Kansas City are neck and neck in all of these record against 500 teams, run differential, batting average, strikeouts, the whole thing. Right. And they're right there. So it's like all of a sudden the division is surprisingly good, and it's all the more important that they started out this way. And I want to say one other thing. If Vogt wins manager, there's so many parallels between the Browns last year and the Guardians this year, because if say Vogt did win manager of the year, it's like you don't have Shane Bieber, you haven't had Gavin Williams, you don't have Stephen Kwan. I can't remember the pitcher. Is it Karinchak that they lost? Right in the and there's another pitcher that's been hurt, which just escapes me right now. But my point is, you yet again, you've got another team that's just got all these injuries, and is just overcoming them. And you've got this great leadership and this chemistry, and you see it every day. And it's like I watched that all football season, and now I'm watching it in baseball season. And the best part is Gavin Williams is coming back. I saw that he's going to start his rehab soon.
They need it. They really need it, especially with Cookie going down. They need it. And I think the thing is with this team, what scared me the most is when Bieber went down. He had those 2 great outings right at the beginning of the year, just the ace Shane Bieber. Like he was looking Cluebot, like air, and he goes down and it's like, shit, here we go. Like we've always had starting pitching, and now it's not just starting pitching. Like, hey, here's a little MVP for you, Sandlin. I watched the stat of him coming in last night. 18 times he's come in and left runners standing on the base out of 20. Like he's on a clip, and it's just like, what is going on with this? And it's like, and like you said, like, it's so fun. It's passionate. It is everybody standing up for themselves. And Justin's here, so he's going to love this. I mean, it's like Flacco coming in going, guys, let's throw the ball. Let's have some fun. Yep. It's pretty much what it is. And it's just rolling over. It even did it with the Cavs for a little bit when we had that 19-game win streak where it was just like, it's like this whole year has been crazy in Cleveland, and I love every minute of it. Let's do it.
Last thing. If the Guardians make the playoffs this year, it will be the first time. I don't remember the last time it had. It's been a really long time. It will be the first time that all 3 professional Cleveland teams make the playoffs in the same calendar year. Honestly, I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't know if it's ever happened.
Because I looked up this stat originally, but when baseball season was starting, and I found this website that showed when each team made the playoffs. I don't think it's ever happened. So I'll just say it like that. If Guardians make the playoffs this year, it'll be the first time in the same calendar year that all 3 professional Cleveland sports teams made the playoffs in the same year, which is unbelievable that it hasn't happened yet, but it could happen.
Well, now that we're transitioning over to the Browns, here we go. Yeah. OTAs have kicked off. All right. We've had sightings of our star quarterback throwing some passes. 10-yard bullets is what we like. Hey, what is Case's nickname now? Zip? What is it? Zip Case or Zipgate Case now?
Something like that.
I love it. But you have Deshaun Watson. Obviously, he didn't throw yesterday because the media is there, and I'll get into that here a little bit later. You know why that happened, because the media is there. That's why.
Of course.
All right, but we got a whole bunch of new rookies in. This is your territory right here. This is what you guys are. We had a whole bunch of guys come in. You guys have been breaking down film of every single person that we have drafted this year. Who is the one guy that you are super excited about seeing in a Browns uniform this year out of this rookie class?
Well, the low-hanging fruit is Michael Hall, right? Because the Browns have been hunting for this young, disruptive interior pass rusher for a long time, and he is just that. He's from here. He's hyper athletic. He's fantastic at getting after the quarterback, and I just think the fit there is so good with Miles and Za'Darius on the outside, and when you already were getting really nice production from Shelby Harris, Mo Hurst, Dalvin Tomlinson. But I do want to talk. I want to go a little deeper with the Browns' 7th round pick, Miles Harden, because a lot of people really liked him. He was at South Dakota State. I always there's a bunch of universities up there, and I don't want to say. Regardless, he's in South Dakota. Anyway.
Get it out. Come on, Nick.
There's a lot of people that talked about him pre-draft and said that he could fit really well as a nickel corner. And the Browns have. I know he's a 7th round pick, but people are higher on him and say he has a great chance to make the roster and to be a contributor, and a guy that maybe doesn't have the long speed that's needed to play outside, but certainly has the toughness and the acumen and the I can't talk today. He has the ability to play inside. And the Browns have this question of what they're going to do with Greg Newsome. And they drafted Cam Mitchell last year, who had some nice moments as well. But I think ultimately the problem is when Martin Emerson comes, he just displaces Greg Newsome on the outside because he's just better. He's a better fit with Denzel Ward, with those two playing on the outside, because Denzel Ward's like the quick, smaller, twitchy corner, and Martin Emerson is the longer, taller, bigger corner,
physical corner
that helps them match up against a lot of different sets of wide receivers, especially in the AFC North. So Newsome kicks to the inside, and the problem with that is that nickel corners don't make as much as outside corners do. And the Browns just picked up Greg Newsome's 5th-year option, but I would be lying if I said that I thought a second contract was going to happen for Newsome, because I think he's going to want to be paid like an outside corner and be an outside corner, because that's what happened with the whole snafu where he requested a trade, didn't request a trade, that kind of thing. I think personally that he was miffed that he was being moved to the inside because he knows what a stark difference there is between the two. So anyway, here's my point. I don't think Newsome is going to be in Cleveland long term, and everything that the whole talk about Harden is that he is built to be your nickel inside corner. If he can be a guy that Andrew Berry and the Browns found in the 7th round that can do that can make the roster, suddenly they have a bunch of options, because Newsome is great, but I don't think they want to let him walk for nothing. If they're not going to pay him. So maybe they could recuperate a pick if they find that either Cam Mitchell or Miles Harden could fill that type of nickel role. Now, I hope they keep them together at least for this year, right? Because you have Newsome's 5th-year option. You got him for 2 more years. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, long term of that, if you can recoup that, like, that's just how you win over the course of time, is you draft these guys, you get value from them, and then if they are leaving, you get some type of compensation back for them. Like, even though Donovan Peoples-Jones was a late pick, the Browns were still able to have a good few seasons from him and then get a pick coming back out the door, which, if I'm not mistaken, became Bookie Watson.
I think so, yeah.
And it's like that type of thing. Like, if he ends up being a player for you, like, it's all the more credit to you that you were able to get value on the back end of him leaving.
And see, now, so you're bringing up all these names, Greg Newsome, everybody. Browns fans, sorry, now I'm having problems talking. Browns fans, you got to realize now we're in a whole different state of Browns Nation right now. You're going to have to get rid of some good players, all right? You're going to have to. We never had that before. We've had, hey, here's the barrel, here's shit, and we were down here in the bottom for the longest time of what we had as players. And you're going to have good players that you're going to have to say goodbye to, that you're going to have to trade away for other assets, because guess what? We have a salary cap. We have a franchise quarterback that they're paying a guaranteed full contract. You have Myles Garrett's contract. You have Denzel Ward's contract. All right. You have Batonio's contract. You have all these contracts. Guess what? You're going to have to start learning how to maneuver some of this stuff. And guess what? I love Newsome. I am so glad Newsome was here. If they trade Newsome tomorrow, am I going to be upset? A little bit, but I understand the business side of it now, because you got your 2 outside corners. It's a slot corner, kind of plug and play. But I am so glad that Newsome actually retracted what he did. Is like, all right, trade me. I don't want any part of this. And then he had so much fun. Now, the thing is, though, is we got an eye-opening response when we were playing the playoffs and everything else. And we had, Emerson hurt, and you had Denzel Ward out for a little bit, and he just got torched. But this is a hard part about being a playoff contending team. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to make hard decisions. You're going to make decisions that you don't want to make and that you're going to have to do, because guess what? Zach Zinner is here for a reason.
Right.
It's not for Wyatt Teller. It's heir apparent Joe Batonio. Joe Batonio, 11 years in. They drafted another Joe Batonio out of Michigan. And I love that kid. That kid is my favorite pick. And you know something? It hurts me to say that because he is a Michigan kid. Yeah. God, I hate to say that. But watching him play, watching the film on that kid is nasty. That kid is downhill, and he will mess anybody up that gets in his road. And it just reminds me of how our offensive line has to block. But I'm glad you brought up the 7th round. I mean, that's awesome because I didn't even once it gets past like the 5th round, I kind of like, okay, that's nice. And then after that, I'm like zoned out because half the time they don't even make the roster.
Right. And that's part of it. Like I said a whole bunch of things just to like he could end up not making the roster because the Browns are that talented, but there is a chance, right? And I just think it's important because for so long the Browns were in this position where they needed to draft these 3rd, 4th, 5th round guys, and they needed contributions from them immediately. And they're in this new place now where the talent on the roster is good enough that it's like you're just drafting best player available or looking down the pipeline, like with Zinter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zinter's a mean son of a bitch that loves hitting people.
He's just an angry man, and I love it.
I do too. And so and so normally, right, a typical Browns team's like that dude's coming in to start. But on this team, right, and let me tell you something. The Andrew Berry looked at what happened to the Browns offensive line last year when they're playing offensive tackles 5 and 6 and like digging deep for between all of these injuries and said, absolutely not. We are not doing that again. Because in addition to drafting Zinter, they gave Javion Cohen, the guard from Miami, some of the most guaranteed money of any undrafted free agent, which would lead you to believe that they think he's going to make the team, right? Because they guaranteed him like $200,000, which is a pretty big deal for a dude that didn't go drafted.
Yeah.
So I think that both Cohen and Zinter are most likely the long-term that could be. Now Cohen has a longer road. I get it. He's an undrafted free agent. But the Browns wouldn't have given him that money if they didn't think he had a good chance to make the roster. Like,
True.
That could be the future of your guard position right there. I love the way Andrew Berry's looking down the line and building depth out and giving guys time to develop. Like that is the biggest piece that the Browns never had, is that these guys come straight from college, have to perform immediately in the NFL. And it's like now you're saying, hey, Jamari Thrash, you could, go ahead. Build up those route running skills.
I mean, we're not in the days anymore where we're getting baby carrots, Cody Kessler starting for us. And that's the thing. As Browns fans, you should be excited. And I understand, like, the great thing is about Browns fans and being a Browns fan is you overreact to everything, no matter what it is.
Of course.
No matter what it is. Like the whole Deshaun Watson not thrown for the media. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But it is, because guess what? The media is there. Heaven forbid they take a bad picture of Deshaun Watson throwing a ball at somebody's feet. Oh, can't have that. It's everything's so touchy-feely with Browns fans. And guess what? I've already talked to you about this. There is no gray. It is black or white. Yep. There is no happy middle. And you've seen it. You've been in those conversations. It's like, guys, come on. Let's just have a conversation about it. That's all it is. It's a conversation. I have my opinion. I respect your opinion. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Why are you making it a big deal?
It's strange. I will say in defense of Deshaun, though, I remember there was a ton of talk about how the Ravens weren't letting the media watch Lamar Jackson throw last year. Right. So it's not just like it's just Deshaun.
Oh, no. I 100% agree. I think it's comical because we got videos of him throwing little zip bullets. And next thing you know, all the media is loud in. Oh, nope. Deshaun's not throwing today. Right. He's just going through the motions.
That's absolutely calculated from them. I love that.
Like, you sons of bitches, just come on. Let the media see him so that we can get our little fix.
It's tough too because now good for the Browns, but they're going to go back down to the Greenbrier this year, and it's like that's like a week of training camp that we used to get to see as Browns fans, and so I am sad about that. But we still I think it's like 2 weeks worth.
Hey,
of camp.
You want in the Greenbrier? I'll get you in the Greenbrier. I know some people down there.
Okay,
don't you worry. I'll get you in the Greenbrier.
All right. Now, I'd love to go. I used to spend a pretty significant amount of time in Charleston, West Virginia.
My wife is from West Virginia, born and raised in West Virginia.
Okay.
We go down as much as we can, see her family. It is so beautiful down there. It is it's just an amazing place. Like, it is just off the beat. And I'll tell you what, hot dogs are the national food down there.
Okay.
Holy shit. Like, they are hot dog heaven down there. It is amazing. Like every time I turn around, she's like, "You want to try this hot dog stand?" I'm like, "Sign me up. Give me some coney sauce and coleslaw. Let's do this shit."
That sounds delicious.
But as the Browns this year, we did our legal ham way too early football schedule. I had the Browns at 11-6. Bry had them at 10-7.
Okay.
Nick Carnes of the Barking Browns podcast. What do you have the Browns at your way early prediction?
I have them on the three-peat of the Kevin Stefanski era and winning 11 games. Again, 11-6 is where I'm at. The schedule gets really brutal down the stretch. Yes.
That's where most of my losses came, was there.
Right. And so I think that there's a few really cool things about the schedule this year. Number one, if you look, every AFC North matchup they have, the Browns play their AFC North opponent at home before they go.
Yeah.
Which is a really neat thing. I love getting Pittsburgh, Cincy, Baltimore all at home first, just to feel out that match, because the year to year the NFL is so different, right? Oh, yeah. And teams are crazy different. So I love having that, especially where you tied the Cowboys for the most wins at home in the NFL last year. It's like that home field advantage was really a thing. I could go for.
So Justin's thing is hot dog is a taco.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of, you know what?
Don't you do it. Not on this show. Don't you do it, Nick.
Well, okay. So like a taco shell is a V and a hot dog bun is a V. Now, unless it's side slice, right? Which I know some people are about side slice hot dog buns. You got to respect it.
You're getting in dangerous ground right now, my friend. You're getting in dangerous ground.
But is there not a bread product surrounding a typical meat protein base with surrounding condiments and ingredients?
Nick. Hey, the thing is though, is half the time that hot dog bun rips when you put that hot dog in, and then it turns into a burger. So what about that?
Now, are you going to tell me you've never ripped a taco shell?
Oh, I do it all the time.
Well,
hey, it doesn't matter to me. It's been a fun topic for this show, as a hot dog is a taco. We also have there's a meat to bread ratio. What was the other one? A corn dog is a calzone. That was another one that we had. Oh yeah, there's a cube effect. I'll send you the link for the cube effect and see if you agree with the cube effect.
Okay.
Half the time taco shells break. Yeah, they do. Especially if you're getting the corn ones.
That's true.
Do you want to finish your brown steak, or do you want to get into Fat Boy Thursday? That we've already went down this road.
Just real quick on the Browns. I think that the schedule sets up for them to get a nice cushion of wins early. Mm-hmm. And I think that they have the depth. Then they showed it last year when they're winning with 4 different quarterbacks. They're down to offensive tackles 4 and 5, 5 and 6, and lose all these guys all over the board. You got the most salary cap on IR in the NFL. They already showed that they can overcome adversity and that they can play through injury and beat good teams. So that leads me to believe that they can find their way through that tough second half of the schedule. They can be 11-6. They can be back in the playoffs, and maybe they can be there fighting for the division at the end. And that would be hugely successful, a hugely successful regular season to me.
Yeah, I agree. That Baltimore game at the very end of the year, circle that one.
Yeah,
circle that one. Now, before we get into Fat Boy Thursday, there is a 3-game window that I need you to block out for Fatty and for Legal Ham.
Okay.
Vegas, Commanders, Eagles.
Vegas.
They're all away games.
Yeah.
That is when we are planning our City Dogs watch party.
Okay.
All right.
Now, I will say I go to 1 away game a year.
It's not those 3. Don't you make it those 3.
Vegas is a popular option among the group.
Because I really don't want to do the Vegas one. Go ahead. Go to Vegas.
We all get a vote.
Okay.
Every year we all vote. There's 12 of us. We go to 1 away game a year. We've been going for almost a decade now. and so every one of us gets a vote, and then we figure out when we're going. So I will keep you informed, but it is my sincerest intention to be there this year, because for those who don't know, I was in Indianapolis when Jared hosted the Grand Shebang and Melt over there.
We had
and I
a
was really sad
blast.
I couldn't be there.
Had a blast. Justin, it is a K. Carnes.
Yeah, it's with a K.
Yeah, it's with a K. All right. Well, buddy, let's have some fun. Let's get into our Fat Boy Thursday.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Thursday.
I see you jamming out of there. You love it, don't you?
That's some good stuff, man.
All right. So for Fat Boy Thursday is Memorial Day weekend. And what you do on Memorial Day is you cook out.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nick Carnes, what are some favorite things you like to have at a cookout, buddy? What are some top things that you need at a cookout?
Oh, I'm starting with hot dogs. I'm a simple man of simple pleasures. I want the stadium mustard. I want the ketchup. I want.
Oh, you do ketchup too?
Yeah.
On the hot dog.
No ketchup for you?
On the hot dog?
Yeah.
No. Mustard only.
Mustard only.
Yeah, there's no ketchup on my hot dog.
I don't have to have ketchup, but I like it.
I mean, you got to have stadium mustard though, right? You got to have, hey, stadium mustard or let's see here, stadium mustard, Burtman's, the spicy brown mustard, any of those three you got to have.
And secondly, I am a hot sauce fiend. My girlfriend's dad makes his own hot sauce out of peppers that he grows in his own garden, and it is nuclear rocket fuel. And so I like to say that I enjoy lighting myself on fire. The motto is, if you're not sweating, you're not enjoying it. So
we gotta have some fun together.
That's the type of hot sauce that I'm into. So if you give me something I can put hot sauce in, I don't care if it's potato salad. I don't care if it's like some kind of bean concoction. I'll put it on my macaroni and cheese. I'll put it on a burger. I'll put it on my hot dogs. I'll do, you know what? I need the sensation. I need it. I recently went to Nashville.
Yes.
And
I saw the pictures, by the way.
Oh.
How was the bourbon?
Wonderful. We did go to the Jack Daniel's distillery, and they give you so it's a dry county, but they give you a very, they came to an agreement in 2012. So Jack Daniel's was doing these tours for infinite time, and they weren't allowed to give a drop of their stuff on the tour. And so they came to this agreement with this dry county that they, like, basically it's a flight, but there's just a tiny little bit of whiskey. It's like their rye, their barrel select, their old number 7. They have like a rye select and a bunch of other. I'm not a huge nerd into all of the different kinds, but delicious, wonderful. Lynchburg's like an hour and a half out of Nashville, and you can actually get bus rides that go there. And like Lynchburg's like this tiny little town that has. I got a bowl called the Hot Mess, and it consisted of cheese, some type of brisket, a sausage that like it had like a char like fry to it, in like this gravy bean stuff, and that they give you like hot sauce and condiments to go along with it, and some bread for when you're done. And there's like that gravy on the bowl. You can just put have the bread, swirl it around the bowl, and soak all up that gravy. So there's not a drop of anything left when you're done. They were $10, and it's the best. Avita and I both got one. It's the best $20 I've ever spent. It was an experience, to say the least.
I want you to see this right now. I want you to look really hard in your camera. You see this on my brow right now? You got me the meat sweats talking about that. I'm getting that sounds delicious.
It was.
Yep. Here's Justin. We know Fatty's next vacation. There it is.
So this literally like about as small of a town as I could describe to you. Like
those are the best places, though. Those are the best places to eat at.
Yeah. And I didn't even go. Apparently, there's some restaurant there that's like been on Food Network, like on one of their shows that like
Mhm.
they've come all the way to this little town of like you could walk around the square of the town in like 2 minutes. Like that's how large that place is. And I didn't even go there. I just went to this random little place, and yeah, that was all. But to circle back overall, Hattie B's fried chicken, famous Nashville, the whole thing.
Mhm.
I ordered the hottest chicken on the menu. It's like the hottest cluck, holy cluck, something like that. And I finished it, did the whole thing. I like literally at various points I had, so they give crushed ice
Okay.
in their from their dispenser. I'm a big crushed ice guy.
Oh yeah, you gotta have
But,
fresh ice.
but during that, because it's like ghost pepper chicken.
Mhm.
But anyway, I got to the point where I didn't have any liquid. I was just shoveling the ice into my mouth.
Right.
We got to it. We did it.
With that. There's nothing wrong with that.
But anyway, hot sauce fiend. Anything you can put hot sauce on. I'm sorry. I know that was like really.
No, God, no. Hey, so like for me, like I love hot if it has flavor. I don't like hot that's punishment. All right. So if it's got a flavor to it, if it's got like a really good taste to it, and then it kicks you your ass later, I'm all right with that. I don't like biting into something that's just instant kick your ass, and it's like, really, why did I do this to myself? Like I know what's going to happen the next morning. We already know what's going to happen. It's not fun. All right. We're an adult show here. It's not fun what happens the next morning. All right. And okay, so Justin and I, we graduated high school together. He's not just an internet troll. He is. He's got. Hey, I gotta send you his link. He's got a story time where he reads children books.
Okay.
That are adult themed. Like Billy lost his balls and Sophie helped him.
Oh,
like that kind of stuff. Hilarious.
Okay. All right.
So all right. So are you a pasta salad or a potato salad guy?
I'm gonna. You know what? Normally it's kind of hot for Memorial Day weekend. I feel like pasta salad cools you down nicely. I like me some pasta salad. I can't help it.
I understand. Now, when you do pasta salad, is it like the macaroni pasta salad, or you do a penne? Is there little salami chunks in that thing, like the cheese chunks and the black olives and?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. But the macaroni, I love the macaroni, the little spirals. I can't get enough. You know what? I was obsessed with macaroni and cheese as a kid. So anything you put macaroni noodles in, I'm in.
You speak of the Lime in the Lounge, and here they are. Now, pasta salad and macaroni salad are different things. I will say that. Okay. But there's some people that use macaroni to make pasta salad. When I think of pasta salad, I think of like Italian dressing, Greek dressing. When I think macaroni salad, I think of a creamy, kind of like potato salad with the celery, the chunks of eggs, all that stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Like me personally, I love macaroni salad. Macaroni salad is one of my favorites. All right. Now, pasta salad, I'll eat the shit out of that. And potato salad, I'll eat shit. I'm not picky. Look at this face. It doesn't get picky. All right. I'll eat whatever's on my plate. Now, are you a mustard style potato salad guy? Or are you you're the other kind?
Well, so it depends how daring I am because I'm lactose intolerant. So if I'm feeling smart. Oh, so we did the shout outs at the beginning, and Jared asked me if I had anyone to shout out, and I'm a line and lounge stand.
Of course, it's Sleeveless Mike and Evo. I mean, what do you expect? Those guys are great.
But so I guess the answer is like, what kind of shape is the stomach in? Because if it's a bad day, if it's a day in which we've had lactose recently, we're sticking to the mustard because otherwise that's not a good time either.
And there he is. Love you guys. Hey, we love you too, bud. Congratulations on the network, the No Sleeves Network. Please go check them out. Lime and Lounge. They're amazing. Love them. Love them both. So much fun. They're so hilarious. I love them. And I tell you what, what's really funny, I met Mike's kids. Mike's kids are even the best. His daughters are amazing. They cracked me up the entire time that we were there. I just started giggling the entire time. They're like, do they really call you fatty? I'm like, Yes, but there's a reason why. It's not because of the size. It's just because of the appetite. Like I I don't know how to explain it. But Lyman Lounge, go check them out. They are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Have a good time. They're great guys, bunch of great guys. All right, so we have burgers, we have sausage, we have bratwurst, we have kielbasas. All right, so like here at my house, we like to do cheeseburgers. We like to do the nice snap hot dogs, the ones with the natural casing on them. And then here's my favorite, the jalapeno cheddar bratwurst.
Oh,
Throw that thing on there, let that thing simmer. I top that thing off with kraut and spicy brown mustard, and I am good to go for the rest of the day.
that sounds delicious.
Oh, so good. And we got such great places. Such great places around here, including we got Gibbs Butcher Block down the street, makes their amazing food. You got Fragment Pans over here that has their stuff that they make. You have delis everywhere. I mean, go to Slovak Village. They got anything and everything you want. Go out. State Meats in Parma. Great stuff there. Go out and get some stuff. Enjoy your cookout. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Now, Nick, I don't know how much of a drinker you are, but if you're drinking on Memorial Day, are you a cocktail kind of guy or a beer kind of guy?
I can go either way. I've been on a real sour beer kick lately.
Oh, wow. Okay, define. Show your work.
Okay, so Victory makes this beer. It's called Sour Monkey, and they have it's like a fruit tart, and it's like I'm a big lemon lime all of the tart, the citrus, the whole thing. So like you put that in beer, and I'm in. And it is it's like a strawberry raspberry flavor, and it's like a 9% beer. So it's then things are potent. You don't need much.
That's the kind of beer that sneaks up on you later. Like you've had two, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting a third, and you take the sip of the third, and you're like, all right, I got to stretch for this one. Like that one's kind of catching up with me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I was drinking a ton of Busch Light in Nashville. When in Rome.
You got to. Did you get the camo can?
Yes, I did.
Yes, that a boy. When you're in Nashville, you got to get that camo can.
I certainly did. They had them in multiple bars all over Broadway.
I'm so proud of you. God, the camo can's the best.
So, you segue. Sometimes you get some Busch Light, sometimes you get some sours, but I will do the cocktail. Actually, I've got some 1792 bourbon whiskey right now. Highly recommend. If it literally, I just drink it straight, pour it in a glass and drink it straight.
There's Justin coming in with the scotch and the moonshine. Okay. Can't go wrong there. Justin's from Kentucky right now. So yeah, he gets all the good stuff down there. For me personally, depending on what kind of liquor I got in the house, especially because if I drink beer, I drink it too fast. And when it goes too fast, it gets downhill. You give me 2-finger with a glass of ice in there, like a scotch, a really nice bourbon that you just sip on the entire day, and you're just sitting back with a cigar, a bourbon, grill going, and you're just like, are you going to turn the chicken? Nah, not yet. I'm not. I'm going to sit here and sip this a little bit more. That's how the Memorial Day should be spent. But also, hey, it is spent. The reason why it is Memorial Day is because of our fallen heroes and everything that they have sacrificed for us. I've had personal friends lost overseas. So has Bri. And that's why we always do our show and thank the troops and first responders after every show, because you guys are amazing. Can't thank you enough. Scotch and bourbon need to drink neat. I don't add anything into them. Yeah. And then my wife gets really angry because I get that nice little happy buzz going where I'm just giggling around everywhere else like a little schoolgirl. She's like, honey, seriously, it is 1:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, take a power nap. I'll recover afterwards. We're all right, honey. We're all right. All right. Well, that's enough for our Fat Boy Thursday. Let's get in our top 3 and close out the show so you can actually go spend some time and have fun with your girlfriend, fiance.
Working on it.
That a boy. All right, let's play our top 3 and have some fun. All right, there's the legal ham top 3. And top 3 tonight is go-to snacks. Now, just to lay it out for you, I will go first for our top 3. Save
Okay.
the suspense for you. So, top 3 snacks for me. Number 3 is the Chex Mix Bold.
Mm.
I cannot get enough of that. Chex Mix Bold is amazing. Love it. Number 2, you ever had I think it's Snyder's that makes them, the pretzel pizza pieces,
Yes, I have.
the buffalo
Ooh.
wing pretzel piece,
Mm.
amazing.
Mm.
And then my number 1, and I don't get it that often. I wish I could. Actually, I got 2 tied. One is double stuffed Oreos with milk. Got to have double stuffed Oreos. Number 2 is the blue cheese, buffalo blue cheese combos. If you ever had those, it's the pretzel combo with the buffalo and blue cheese inside. It's delicious. I love it. All right, so give me your top 3.
Okay, so right now I have number 3. I really like the Mike's. It's by Utz. The Mike's Hot Honey Chips.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've had those. Those are amazing.
Yes. Well, recently I was in a local grocery store, and they have 3 times hotter. There's a theme in my eating.
Okay.
Mike's Hot Honey Chips.
Okay.
And I will tell you, I opened that bag yesterday, and I was sweating profusely and loved it.
Okay.
That's just I love it.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 2. Haribo gummy bears.
Oh, yep.
I am a gummy fiend. I like.
Now, hold on. Are you another gummy fiend that we need to talk about?
No, just
Okay.
this gummies.
Okay.
Just gummy bears.
Just making sure. Just gotta ask. Just gotta ask.
I feel it. Haribo is the classic. I think it's like they have some kind of anniversary bag right now. I have to buy them in small quantities because if I buy them in large quantities, they just disappear.
That's understandable.
And so, number 1, Albanese gummy bears. Okay, yeah, gummy bears, top 2. I'm a
Yeah, hold on. You got 2 gummy bears in the top.
Yep, yes, I do. Now, the Albanese are a much more full gummy bear. Like the Haribo, you can like bite right through, but they're like a tried and true flavor. Now, the Albanese are a much more robust bear.
You gotta chew a little bit on those.
You gotta chew. There's a little juice to those gummy bears. And
all right.
I put them in the fridge, get them nice and cold.
Oh wow, you do that too?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Oh shit.
And
we gotta hang out more often, buddy.
I would love that.
You are stepping up my food game right now. That I gotta try shit that I've never tried before.
Just they will hit for you. I got to tell you, I have tried both, and I saw that Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell had a debate over which gummy bear was better, and my answer is both. But I guess if I have to pick one, I'm picking the Albanese gummy bears. They also come in like little smoothie flavors and some other like weird twisty creations. I'm anything gummy, honestly. Like I could make a top 10 of gummy candy.
All right, we're gonna have to do it next time you come on. We're definitely gonna have to do. That's going to be our Fat Boy Thursday is gummy candy.
I would love that.
All right, we can definitely do that. Justin said fruit, stuffed jalapeno, and fried mac and cheese.
Ooh,
and rummy bears, gummy bears soaked in rum.
Oh boy,
shut up! That sounds delicious. We can get into that a little bit later. All right, so this is the end of the show. Nick, thank you so much for stepping in, having fun with me here on Illegal Ham to the Face. We want to thank our troops, our first responders for everything you guys do. We want to congratulate Bry and his wife.
Congratulations.
Justin, thank you guys so much for joining in. Lyman Lounge, thank you for commenting. Thank you for the 239 people watching right now. We really do appreciate it. All right, give us a like and subscribe. Go check out the Barking Browns with Nick Carnes, Jacob Roach, and Casey Kinneman. Anything you need, Browns, they got it for you. Please go check them out. And like I say on the end of our show all the time, we are definitely uncorked, unloaded. We're out. See ya next Thursday.